Welcome to Friday Friends, RI Elder Info's weekly look at the organizations and individuals providing resources for Rhode Island seniors, caregivers, and professionals.
Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. It is 9 o'clock on Friday, and you are watching me, Deb Burton, Executive Director of RI Elder Info, and the host of the weekly show, Friday Friends, where I bring information from individuals that you or someone you know needs to know about. And we are having a really important conversation today with one of my friends from the Rhode Island Office of Veterans Services, Director Kasim Yarn. And it is so important that you hit the like, the share, the bells, the whistles, all those social media cues, because the topic we're discussing today is something that's near and dear to my heart on a personal level. And I know it is for you watching as well. So please help us get the word out by hitting all those social media cues. Now, as you know, we could not do this without the support of our sponsors. So a big shout out to Point 32 Health Foundation, United Healthcare, Oak Street Health, 321 Media, and especially our friends at McCarthy Law. Here's a message from McCarthy Law, and then we will be joined by Director Yarn.
Here at McCarthy Law, we practice in the areas of estate planning, long-term care planning, elder care law, and residential real estate. Our focus is really on providing peace of mind to our clients.
If you're interested in scheduling a consultation with our office, you can feel free to reach out to us at 401-541-5540. You can also reach out via website at www.mccarthylawri.com. You also should check out our social media, both on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn for some helpful tips and tricks.
Hi, Director Yarn. How are you today?
Hello, dear friend Deb. How are you, ma'am?
Very good. Very good. So you might recall I had an event this summer calling All Veterans Day, and I know that you were not able to join us because you were attending an extraordinarily important conference. Could you please share with everybody what the topic of that conference was and really important information for folks?
Well, thank you. So I was at a conference, the National Association of State Directors, NASDAVA. We meet with 50 states and 70 other areas. We support each other by having two conferences a year. We have a midwinter conference that's done in February. We have a summer training conference that's done in August timeframe. Each summer conference, we rotate from state to state. In our winter conference, we focus in the DC on into Virginia areas. That way, a lot of our VA folks are there, and because their offices are literally minutes away. And so each year, we take a different topic, and we focus on whether the priorities for our veteran population that we serve. And this year has been mental health. Rightfully so, because we continue to identify resources to connect folks with services, both the veteran and the military family. And with our population in Rhode Island is somewhat unique because we're an aging population relative to some of the other districts in our catchment area. And we partner with in New England. I'm also the vice president for the Northeast District, consisting of 13 states as well. We meet on a subcommittee basis, on a monthly basis. And this is where we share success and lessons learned, but also to partner with each other across state lines to better serve each other. And here's why I remember when I took this position back in 2016, it seems like yesterday, and we do what we call a new director's orientation. This is when the new directors that are appointed by the governors to come in on a Sunday morning, first thing, and we get orientation from the other directors. Let's talk about our mission, talk about ways to connect. And there were a couple of things from that initial meeting in 2016 that left a profound effect on me and continues to guide me along my life journey as well. One of which, that there are no borders to cover the serving America's heroes. And we get calls all the time from folks outside the state that may need assistance, and we connect them with services. And we utilize a database that we have of our state directors on speed dial. The second major takeaway was if another state director calls you, damn it, you better pick up the phone. And because
Yes.
again, we said it, but no, that was the tone that my mentor, Alfie, which I'll share with you today. She's been great in that process. She talked to the point about serving others, and so as a result, I've taken it onto my part of my portfolio, as you know, Deb. And anytime someone calls, my job is to connect them, regardless if they're a veteran or non-veteran. I think it talks to a greater need in terms to move the stigma around talking around things wellness, and I, as a director, taking lessons learned in my own personal wellness, how it impacts to me, but also too how it impact dealing with others, but also to the people that I serve, knowing that we're all in this together, and that in Rhode Island there are no such things as 6 degrees of separation. So in our organization, it enables us to share resources, to take the lessons learned that another state has already embarked on, and to add that to take it, bring it back to our states, individual states, to take those lessons learned and apply them in an effective way. One of the takeaways were the governance challenge work that we're doing, and to reduce the stigma around suicide and the preventive measures associated with that. But we know it takes all of us. And part of my role is to let everyone know, hey, there's plenty of room at the end, and we love to hear from all of our community partners. We this has been successful, as you know, in the elder space, dealing with those, connecting them with the next steps as they transition, to offer them options that we have, which your organization has been so critically supportive of in that regard. And now we're taking on also an added capacity is addressing the mental health needs of all of our Rhode Islanders in the space. So, pivoting to that is why we've started this event. We've just completed back in May our third annual Mental Health Call for Action Day. And this is when all of our community partners come together. We take what we've learned from the past and we apply them moving forward. In moving forward, we're taking the needs of our veterans, our families, our youth, our aging population, those living in poverty, to give them resources. And I'm a firm believer, my job is not to point you in one direction, is to give you multiple directions, multiple options, because taking the lessons learned, we know that getting help looks different for all of us. So my job is to assist on that journey by helping establish a buffet style menu of options that folks that feels right to them, and connect them with services. What makes this mission so special also is by we all have a personal story. We all know someone that's impacted by this. Let's bring that to light. Let's continue to talk about those stories. Now we can have that conversation around the water cooler, around the dinner table, to talk about those sensitive subjects. But we have to create a place and an environment that's conducive for that. So if that means me sharing my story, that means me shedding a couple of tears, then so be it, because we know it's okay not to be okay. And by me sharing my stories, everyone else can also share their stories as well.
Absolutely. And Director, I think it's important for folks to really normalize the conversation around it's okay to not be okay. And I have to push back on one thing that you said. I don't
Please
think
do.
that your office just points people in the right direction. You'll actually hold their hand and give them a map and make sure that if they need assistance to arrive at their destination, your team makes sure that that is exactly what people get when they call you for help. So had to push back a little bit. You
Well,
don't just point people in directions.
please do that. I take it. You're absolutely right, and I serve with humility. And when I remember when I first took this position, I looked at my veterans and military families, and as a steward for the taxpayer, there are going to be times when I have to lead as your advocate. There's going to be times when we have to walk side by side together. Hence the holding hand piece along those lines. But there's also too, because they're individuals. They serve this nation, their families. They have to do what's best for them, and I got it. So at some point in time, I want them to take the lead in this space. And then when it's time for me to intercede on their behalf, so it really is that those three event horizons, right? To lead, to play alongside, and of course, to lead, you got to be a good follower as well. And I'm happy to let our veterans lead, and I will follow them when I need be. If they need to step in, here's Big Brother. Big Brother Kasim to help them along the way.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because it's not, you don't just point folks. I know that for sure. So
Correct.
I recently learned that the Boston VA health system was doing quite a bit of research in regards to post-traumatic stress for our older veterans, where it is first appearing in later life, maybe after retirement, in those quiet times. Sometimes those demons come. And I'm finding simultaneously that there are more individuals who are eligible for benefits since the PACT Act went through. So, for our older veterans who maybe are experiencing things that when their life was busy, they had not experienced, how can they reach out for help?
Well, there's a lot to unpack there. So, and you're right on your assessment, and I would take that even a step further. Taking the lessons learned from COVID-19, a lot of our aging population have become isolated, and rightfully so. And so, we also know part of this similar study that leads to dementia. And so, what we've done in taking the Boston approach, because remember, there's no borders, right? So, compliments flatter, right? When you companies pay someone else's programs. But we've launched a similar version here through our Veterans Cafe component. We, in partnership with Office of Healthy Aging, Meals on Wheels, we offer a congregate setting format. We offer a meal setting for those that over age of 60. We do it at two locations, familiar with the community, because it is about community engaged and staying in the community, but also meeting our veterans where they are in that community, in partnership with the American Legion, Post 85 in Woonsocket, and Post 43 all the way in Warwick. We offer a third Wednesday of every month now. Since we've started this back in July, we offer programming for those 60-year-old folks, veterans, and their significant others, to offer programming over a lunch meal provided by Meals on Wheels, and we offer a lecture series. This past series in Warwick, I was the guest speaker and this kind of piggyback upon, if you recall, prior to COVID, we should have our morning sessions, coffee sessions with all the folks around the nurse facilities and the assisted living facilities. We used to have shared notes and network. Well, we use that similar setting too. We have those folks come back to offer programming for this segment of our population. When we talk about in the veteran space, when you use the word transition, we talk about those veterans that are transitioning back home to our communities now. But on the other end of the spectrum, we're transitioning using a different way. What's your next plans in terms of, do you want to age in place at home, or do you want to potentially utilize a nursing facility, the veterans home as an option, an assisted living facility, or moving in with your loved ones? All of those discussions they need to be had now prior to needing those resources. And again, this is the lessons learned dealing with this proper group of our population and knowing what we know. Okay, let's take this and operationalize this. Let's give this in a format and a process that we all understand, and something you can take with you to think about around your dinner table as you have these discussions with your family members. So the Veterans Cafe has been very instrumental in supporting to move the needle on to get our residents back out into communities in a social network setting, and also offer them some programs, some things to think about as they continue along those life journey as well.
And I have to say, having popped into the Veterans Cafe, that they are well attended, and it is such a sense of camaraderie and connectedness. And I think it's a great opportunity to reduce that social isolation and loneliness. And we know that Meals on Wheels in general is so very much more than a meal. And I love the Veterans Cafe that has been able to partner with Meals on Wheels and bring that out to the community and get people connected, and that they can bring their significant others with them, because
Absolutely.
sometimes significant others need that support as well. Um, Director, if there's someone watching who needs help, maybe they are really struggling with their mental health, where should they call? Where can they get help?
So there are, remember I talked earlier about that, a buffet style menu of options. First and foremost, 988, press one if you're a veteran. It goes automatically, clicks you right to the veteran component there too. And that's been so critical in providing services. It's been long. And I give special thank you to our congressional delegation for leading this effort. And special thank you to our partner, my sister agency, BHDDH, for putting this on, making this a priority, and our legislative leaders, to include the governor, regarding making this a priority, budget priority in the administration and with the General Assembly. So again, special thank you to the Speaker of the House and our Senate President for, again, being the champions of this effort. And again, like I said before, it takes all of us in that space. We also have our office, 401-921-2119. We also are available walk-ins, 560 Jefferson Boulevard, to connect them with services, all the way in Warwick, centrally located. On RIPTA, we have two RIPTA routes here. We're right near a block over from the airport, plenty of parking, no issues whatsoever, ADA compliant. We love walk-ins because this segment of our population, we've learned coming out of the old team, this is why we were one of the first offices to reopen our doors for walk-ins, because we know that this segment of our population, the boomer generation, they love walking, they love reading things, they love walking and being having that one-on-one contact. And so, and then in that regard, it was important for us to do that. We also partner with you through our Unite Us platform, putting all of our community service providers in the same network. So it's a virtual platform where we can connect them with services via no wrong door approach. We want to come to your office or my agency, we can connect them with services.
I feel like many hands make the load light. And so if somebody does have a need out there, they can call 988. It is, I believe, answered locally, but everything is confidential. They can go into your office at 560 Jefferson Boulevard. You're in Suite 206. And you said it so quick, and I don't have it memorized.
I'm sorry, our phone number.
Your phone number, yeah.
Yes, ma'am. 401-921-2119.
2119. Okay.
Yes,
I thought I had like an extra one when I was copying for you. And so
that's good there.
If individuals maybe had applied for benefits in the past, is there an opportunity with your office to explore whether or not that might have changed since the PACT Act to ensure that
absolutely, we say if anyone applies for benefits and they get a denial or what have you, please reapply, and our office is standing by to assist. We have veteran service officers who are accredited to help them fill that process. We also have partnered with our federal VA partners, with Director McQuaid and his team at the RO office, at the VBA RO office. We also have partnered with our veteran service organizations like the American Legion, like the VFW, who have accredited VSOs, that we can connect them with services as well. And to put a bow on it, we've also recently launched our CCBACs. These are the Certified Community Behavioral Health Centers. That we have 7 of those that, as of October the 1st, are online as well across the community. Community focus, hence why it's Certified Community Behavioral Health Centers. But it talks to reaching our constituency where they are in the community.
And see, that's what I really like about your team, is that you do what it takes to get the people connected where they are in the way that they need to be connected. And I know I promised you something super quick, and I appreciate you taking this time, especially as we're like screaming into Veterans Day weekend. And I've kept you longer, and I really do appreciate that.
The work, Deb, your work is too critically important. And then pivoting to Veterans Day, I know we've completed our annual water fire event, which was on the 2nd, which was a tremendous success. We had over 100 veterans and family members processing through Providence. Our event, it started at 4:30 with the procession and with the talking points from all of our elected officials. We had our Gold Star family members present. It was truly a great event. So for Veterans Day, for me, it becomes a series of weeks. We're partnering with our local municipalities with the parades, from partnering with our various Elks lodges across the state, the protective order of the Elks, and as long as they're veterans, they're Elks, and I'm happy to support their mission. Our veterans from the Veterans Home, they go participate and go to these various venues as well. So again, I'm so supportive of all 39 citizen towns, making it a priority to serve our veterans, to honor our family members, and your hard work it should be celebrated as well, Deb. And thank you for all those listening. Have a blessed, continue to have as we proceed to Veterans Day. Please participate. Thank a veteran, and thank them for their service, and their family member serves as well.
Absolutely. And thank you for your service, Director. And thank you for coming on today. I know it's super busy, and I appreciate your time. Thank you.
Deb Burn calls, and we come running.
Yes, you do. You do. And I am grateful. And the people that we help together are extraordinarily grateful. Everybody, again, it is so important that we understand that it's okay to not be okay. If you or someone you know is experiencing a mental health emergency, please dial 988. If you are a veteran in need or the family member of a veteran in need, don't hesitate to reach out to Director Yarn. His team will help you navigate in the way that you want help, and they'll make sure that you get there in your time frame. They are a wonderful group. Please don't hesitate to reach out. Share this video because we're losing 21 vets a day. And if we can prevent even one, that's great, but we want to be able to prevent all. So please help us get the word out. Hit the like button, hit the share button, all those social media cues. If someone you know is having a crisis, call 988 and enjoy this weekend, and make sure that given an opportunity that you thank the veteran for their service and thank their family as well. I look forward to seeing you all again next week. In the meantime, be well and be kind.
If you like this video, please follow us on social media and subscribe on YouTube. For more information, visit rielderinfo.com or call 401-585-0509. If you have any questions, email deb@rielderinfo.com.